To Relationship Soup. I'm your host, Lisa Hughes. Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. How y'all doing today? How was your weekend? How was your holiday? Did y'all have a good holiday? How's your week going? How y'all feeling with all this snow? Y'all booed up? Are y'all snuggled under a warm fire eating marshmallows? Did y'all survive? Were y'all successful with cuffing season? Were y'all? Talk to me. But anyway, thank y'all so much for joining me. I'm so happy to be back. And look, y'all already know. Listen, I want to thank each and every one of y'all for pulling up. So whether you're watching us live on Facebook, on YouTube, or you're listening to a replay, I see you, I love you, and I appreciate you. Okay, I definitely do that. And I see your comments. I promise I'm going to bring y'all comments on in a minute, right? But for right now, y'all know I got to do my spiel, right? I got to do my spiel. And I ain't going to forget TikTok this week because, see, what had happened was last week, see, I heard about it. See, you didn't really talk about TikTok. I did talk about TikTok, but, you know, I got y'all. All right, so just make sure that you are liking and subscribing across all platforms, right? So listen, you already know what I'm going to say. On YouTube is Relationship Soup, period. If you don't put that period in there, y'all going to be somewhere else, right? Now, the holiday season is approaching. Y'all got y'all greeting cards yet? Relationshipsoup.com. Hit up relationshipsoup.com for your greeting card needs. We got you, right? Now, if you want to listen, the forum is popping. Okay, I just approved new members. And I know y'all like, you always say it. No, I really do. I really do be approving members. So come join the forum. Get it in. Let's talk about some things. Because we're going to talk about some things tonight. All right. So if you want to follow me, it's Relationship Soup LLC. And we on TikTok, y'all. It's Relationship Soup. Just hit up Relationship Soup on TikTok, right? We'd love to have you. All right. So anyway, I do see y'all comments. Let me bring y'all comments on because y'all already know that I appreciate y'all joining. Oh, okay. I see you. Here we go. So who is that? That is, what's that? Hostin Sanchez, 3761. Thank you so much for joining me. You know, I appreciate you. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining me. Jay Desiree, what's the science, beautiful cousin? How are you? You good? How was your weekend? How was your holiday? Right? Did you eat good? Man, I know y'all ate good. Man, that family big. I know y'all ate real good. All right, so let's see here. So Be Bold, Face and Beauty. Oh, hey, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me. Yes, I'm definitely well. Life is blowing me kisses right now. You hear me? Life is Gucci. Life is good, right? I'm just looking forward to what life has to bring. Anyway, so let's see here. Who else we got here? Oh, yes, happy December, keeping warm. Now listen, fam. I know y'all are down there toasty in the South. I miss Georgia. I really do. I miss not having to wear a super heavy coat. Although y'all get a little cold down here, but not up here. We are building snowmans up here, fam. Like roads is closed, it's slick, right? It is what it is, right? So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate that. I'm gonna be real nice today. I'm always nice on the podcast. You talking to my guest? Clarence, don't be nice. Is this one of your people, Clarence? They trying to give you the pre-warning. Be nice, right? Clarence gonna be nice, right? Gonna be really nice. I'm doing really well. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get into this show, right? Because this is one of my highlights. All right. So anyway, so listen. This show is the 91st episode, y'all. We are just moving right along. Can y'all believe it's been 91 episodes? Like, for real, 91. So in this episode, this one is called Aligned Desires, Personality, Pleasure, and Partnership. Okay, listen, we're going to get into it today. Listen, this is going to be a show, and hopefully, like with every show, you take away something more about self, because we're going to get into self. We get into compatibility, pleasure, communication, long-term intimacy. Because ain't y'all tired of short-term stuff? Y'all tired yet? Y'all tired of the same old routine, right? Same old relationships, right? Same outcomes. Listen, we're going to get into something today because maybe it start with you, right? Well, it do start with you, but we're going to delve a little bit deeper. So anyway, let me tell you about this guest. This guest is a renowned lifestyle curator, okay, and a creator of a groundbreaking personality and compatibility assessment. He is on a mission to help countless individuals understand themselves, their partners, and more. All right, what if you had an understanding of your partner a little bit more? Now, we've heard of different assessments out there. In social media, there are so many platforms to learn more about relationships, about self, about personality, and all that, right? We bring it in here tonight. This guest is also the host of Sexual Intercourse Podcast. We're going to get into that. You hear me? And look, I even took this assessment, so we're going to talk about my results. Now, we ain't going to get too deep because, I can't be telling all my secrets like Drake. You can't tell all my secrets, and Clarence can't be selling my secrets either, because he didn't discover some stuff about me, right? I be telling people, hey, I'm just for the trained eye. You feel me? I don't be divulging too much. So Clarence, don't be telling my secrets. I'm telling you that now. So when you get on here, you ain't going to be trying to tell my secrets. I'm just saying. So anyway, without further ado, we're going to get into this episode. Look, take some notes, get ready, because you're going to be able to take this assessment as well. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring on Mr. Clarence Underwood.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not selling no secrets.
Look, Drake said it. Listen, Drake said, don't be selling my secrets. You hear me?
I got you. Your secrets, they safe for me.
Hey, listen. Hey, views. We ain't selling my secrets. You hear me?
Yeah, you really had me over here laughing.
I know I did. Listen, I'm a closet comedian for real. People really be laughing at my jokes, especially my students. Like, I was cracking some jokes today, and they was like, dang, Professor, you really are funny. And I was like, you not really laughing for that? Hey, they like, no, you funny, Professor.
Nah, you really funny, for real. Yeah.
But did that come out in my personality assessment, though?
It did. Not that you're necessarily funny, per se, but yeah, remember, part of it had to do with you being social.
I can be around the right circumstances and situations. You feel me?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. I just want to get right into it, but I'm not. We got to work it up. Okay, so Tell my listeners about you, Clarence.
I'm from Gary, Indiana. I'm a trained speaker, trained lifestyle curator. I was trained by Eric Thomas. I don't know if a lot of people know who Eric Thomas is, or he goes by E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher. I am constantly looking for things to improve myself. Suicide awareness gatekeeper. I do mental health first aid. I do child mental health wraparound. the things it is that I involve myself in is for my self-improvement, and not just to improve myself, but to also help other people to learn and understand. That's how I even got to getting to want a assessment of this type, because of how I came through learning and understanding and training myself.
Ooh, that's a beautiful thing, right? With growth, this comes out. With learning yourself, this come out. Like, I think there are so many rewards to learning about self, to growth, right? Yes. All right. So let me ask you this. So other than growth, what inspires you to create a compatibility and personality-based intimacy assessment? Is that a good? I mean, that was a lot of words.
That's a good overall view.
Okay,
of it.
Okay.
But the thing that inspired me to do it is the division we have going on amongst us, specifically as Black men and Black women. But outside of that, just within society and culture now, there is this divide of men and women, and for lack of better words, there's a lack of accountability. But some people don't know that they're not being accountable. But the major reason I say it's a lack of accountability is because when we do come together in groups, whether it be talking to your friends or your family members, or we do come together on podcasts or panel talks and things of that nature, a lot of the things that are brought forth, they are from one point of view. For instance, you are constantly trying to figure out why your significant other is doing something that they're doing, but you're not looking at how you're affecting what's going on. You know, so and just wanting people to be better communicators and just have a better success in life. That's what made me come up with it, because at the end of the day, part of saying the kingdom life is having your marriage, being in union, being evenly yoked with somebody. And the major part of what's keeping a lot of us from being yoked with someone, it's not necessarily just the person. It's not necessarily their bad attributes or anything of that nature. We just don't know how to fit the puzzle pieces together.
That's fair. That's fair. Absolutely. That's fair. I like that. Okay. Let's see here. So let me ask you this. What do you think the biggest misconception is, well, that people have about compatibility? Like, what's the biggest misconception, would you say?
That it is topical. So, like, for most people, compatibility is, you like sports, I like sports. Oh, I got a girl that likes sports. We can watch sports together. Dang, he like to cook. We can cook together. Oh, he like to shop. I can go shopping with him. The things that most people look at as compatible, first and foremost, they just come from the people's preference of the type of person they want. Just because he's 6'5", dark skin, and makes six figures does not mean he's compatible with your lifestyle. Just because she has the magazine girl body and the pretty face and the long flowing hair does not mean she's compatible with your lifestyle. She is just compatible with the aesthetic that you like. That's it. Most people are not really getting into compatibility on the level of, as we're here for tonight, communication. That's where we're missing a lot of compatibility at, as far as how does this person communicate? What's their style of communication? How do they receive communication? How do they get over issues? How do they apologize? How do they like to be looked? Like, these are the things that we should find compatibility in, because when it really comes to compatibility, it's not just something that you and another person naturally have. It's, where do you put these things together? How can I be compatible with the program?
That makes a lot of sense. Let me ask you this. So, do you feel like, with these different personality types, right? Do you feel that it could predict sexual challenges, or just even challenges and or strengths in a relationship?
Yes, it most definitely does. So let's use this for an example. We've been taking it to a sexual challenge where it's not even sexual. You and your partner are communicating, and somebody in the group is the partner that they shut down when communication is not going good. But it doesn't mean that they're being rude. It doesn't mean they're being disrespectful. It doesn't mean that they don't care. But in their communication style and what type of person they are, when they get to caring and they don't want it to get out of hand, this is what they do. Versus you have the other person that's logical, trying to get to the answer, find a solution right now. And this is their love language. Where if both of these people understood, first and foremost, how they communicate, they would know that that's not necessarily how the other person communicates. And they would find the best way. When you know a lot of languages, you're supposed to figure out how to speak somebody else's language instead of trying to make them learn yours, especially if you know multiple. So we have these challenges that come up because in the shutdown comes with emotional detachment, or even with the shutdown comes, you think somebody that is your partner is in agreement with you because they still having sex with you, but in all actuality, they're just trying to avoid further problems, which makes the other problems build up and become bigger than they are.
Ooh, that's deep. And you know, it's crazy because, well, I won't say it's crazy because I don't believe in craziness or coincidence. I was actually on a social media platform, and it was talking about, like, you know, when people shut down and how to actually receive that, because, you know, naturally, like, what, I don't know, the social dating world would tell you, if somebody backing off from you, they not feeling you. He just not that into you, or she just not that into you, right? So then you internalizing it, you're feeling offensive, and then but if you actually looked a little bit deeper into getting understanding, even with breaking down, look, I ain't no psychologist, psychiatrist, none of that. The trauma, right? Because sometimes when things get too deep, if there's a mother wound or a father, whatever, sometimes people shut down because, you know, hey, this is getting too deep, or this is feeling, you know what I'm saying? So there's different reasons. And so for me, I'm always one of the ones that talk about, like, understanding. Like, I want to have an understanding and think in various aspects. If you had more of an understanding when it came to relationships and stuff like that of your partner, how differently would you move?
Right. How differently would you move? Because first off, in order to have a better understanding of your partner in a relationship, you got to have a better understanding of yourself. So, you know, when you do have a better understanding of yourself, you're really going to be able to read those signs from your partner when the eyes shift, or you're going to be able to read it when the twiddling of the fingers come in, or just the silence does hit. You will be able to read it because you are also in tune with yourself. So you can find where your portion of communication has caused this shutdown. Doesn't necessarily mean that you are the issue, but we have to be accountable for the parts of this that we're doing.
Absolutely. That makes sense because you know, I just remember a very long time ago talking to this couple where they were triggering each other. They were like, Lisa, we could not have a weekend. Like, it'd be something as small as his wife would leave open somebody would leave open the cabinet, right? So, and then next thing you know, they're arguing, it's all of that. But just when they were able to get to the root as to why that was so bothersome to the other spouse, because, you know, when they were younger, they used to get beat if the cabinets was open, if the kitchen wasn't clean. Now that's a little extreme, but I'm just going back to the idea of just having an understanding as to why, okay, so why am I reacting? And then what am I doing to cause this reaction, right? So, you know,
even the understanding. See, and this is what helps us get to deeper understandings. There is a very superficial understanding that will get us to the deepest understanding we can have. Because whether he knew that she got beat about the cabinets when she was younger or not, the one thing he was supposed to take in was the fact that, hey, I know this bothers her. Might not know why it bothers her, but I'll do my best to make sure, you know, like, even if he had to make a note in his phone, let me make sure every time I go in here, I close the cabinets or something of that nature. And in hindsight, I don't know how she communicated with him, but there could probably have been at some point in time. I know that more than likely when we communicate and we say things over and over, it gets more and more abrasive. So even with him probably genuinely forgetting in the beginning about it, as she started saying it and it became more abrasive, it fell on deaf ears. So the communication between both of them needed to find a softer spot to land in so that it could be well received.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense because sometimes you could be dancing on them triggers and you don't really know what you're doing. It could be totally unintentional because it's not always intentional, right? So
but this is the thing that I say about triggers. People might not agree with me, but nobody triggers you. You trigger yourself.
Is that because you haven't healed, or?
Right. 9 times out of 10, when, to me, in my opinion, when somebody tells you that you're triggering them or these are my triggers, you're not triggered. You're holding on to the trauma that you don't want to let go. Because you know what this trigger is. You know what it is. And think about a lot of people that you come across. They've been holding on to these triggers for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. That means that you have not put yourself in the proper spot to release this, whether it's because it gives you some type of validation to your actions or whatever it is. You have not put yourself in the place to release it. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of people don't release things that are traumatic to them because they feel like they're losing a piece of themselves. It's a part of their identity. So instead of healing that trauma, they live in it.
That makes sense. Wow. Okay. Let's see here. Do we have any comments here? And I'll be trying to bring my people comments on a little bit. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so we got a couple little comments. Okay, blessings to you, Dimitri. Thank you so much for joining me. And Miss Woodson says, I want to be the one who will always be there to give you. Oh, not the Tony. Okay, so let me tell you. So M. Woodson, thank you for joining me, beautiful. Every week, hitting me with the old school or something, some throwback. And so I'm reading it so I sound real basic. Okay, Tony. I'm gonna have to play that later. All right, so then we got a ha. And then thank you so much for joining me, Melvin. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, so let me ask you this. Okay, so with your personality test, right? Assessment. Because now social media, at first it was narcissist, right? Remember, I think around the pandemic, maybe a little bit before. I mean, that was just, oh man, narcissist. Now we're hearing about anxious attachment, avoiding attachment. And let me know, do you feel like your assessment could help to even uncover those attachment styles?
Yes, because first and foremost, like I say, some of these things are where in my learning, where I have come to understand. Narcissism, first and foremost, if you really dig down into it, is leadership qualities. Somebody that does know how to control and lead something. They're influential people. So where a lot of people say, hey, you're narcissistic and I'm not narcissistic, everybody has the quality in them to be influential. Now, where you use it in a negative space, that's where we really get down to what people say narcissistic. And that is something that can ping pong back and forth. Because within these conversations, especially when you feel like somebody's being narcissistic, now you try to control everything they're saying with, you're just being narcissistic. You're no longer listening. Now you're taking what they're saying and you're flipping it. And that's what? Narcissism. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's narcissism. So, and being able to get to even these emotional attachments and things of that nature, because trauma bonds. So within all those things, yes, I feel and I know that the assessment will help people be able to get to the root of the things with their partner or the person they're trying to talk to, because it's going to break down the communication, the best ways to communicate with each other. So within those breakdowns of communication, that means that you're going to end up getting to know that part of a person that they really trying to keep from you. Even if they don't dive deep into their closet, their communication is different with you, where they're not blocked off of things. So you can find out, oh, dang, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have nobody tell you that they loved you when you was little a lot. So, that's why you always won't be right. But it comes with the communication. Instead of rejecting, I don't have to tell you I love you every day, every 5 minutes. Like, instead of rejecting it, you have to understand it. So, yes, this is going to help with all of that.
Yeah, I think that's really important because, have a lot of us have probably trauma bonded. I know I have.
Yes.
It's traumatic, but it's at the same time, it's familiar, it's comfortable if you haven't done the work. If you have not done the work, let me say that, right? So, just being able to get to the root, I'm all about the roots, right? Even pressing my hair, I got to get to the root. You know what I'm saying? I got to get to the root.
Right? Get to the root.
Absolutely. So let's see here. So we have a comment here. Ramon.
Hey, that's one of my primos.
That's
one of my primos.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Oh, South Texas. Oh, okay. You in Texas? What the weather like down there? Is it nice?
Man, I'll be seeing his Facebook and it'll be making me upset.
Man, I say it every year. Like, I am a Midwest born and raised, right? Spent a little time away from Indy, right? When I thought I wanted to do TV or whatever, right? Look, I got to do something because I got to do something, right? I don't know. Maybe this weather messing with my assessment. You think?
And nah, see, we can't get an excuses. It's not the weather. It's never the weather. It's never the weather, and it's never them. It's never the conditions. It's always us. I know they might sound crazy, but it's always us.
That makes sense. All right, so let's see here. Now, I know that you have like tested this. What are some common like compatibility patterns that you see? Because I kind of want to talk about mine in a minute, but I don't want to talk much.
The common patterns that you have are, for instance, you have those that are dominant, those that are supportive. You have those that are, they're not controlling, but they are a controller of the environment. So within these, for instance, somebody that's dominant and somebody that's submissive, or as we call them, a supporter, somebody that's a supporter. The dominant person, of course, they're going to lead. They're going to make sure that things are in order with the relationship. They are the person that they are looking for the resolutions. They're resolution based. They're looking for answers to everything. And the person that is supportive, they go hand in hand, because even in communication, the supporter is going to do more listening. And within that listening, the supporter is actively going to give cues to the dominant person in communication to let them know how to help them flow with what's going on. But at the same time, if these cues are not met and they're not read, and even if you just don't know that what your personality type is, this is where the supportive person can end up shutting down in the relationship. So your strengths that make you strong together, you have to acknowledge them. But the things that make people have a natural compatible match is, like I say, a dominant and a supportive person. They already fall into certain places. Just like a man, that's Ephesians 5 man, he wants to lead it. He wants to lead his household, and he does find a Proverbs 31 wife where she's, with her husband. And if her husband say, let's go north, she's going north. They've already eliminated majority of the fight. Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this then. Do you feel like, say, if there's individuals that are, they're in a relationship and they're still trying to figure things out, do you feel like they can get to that Ephesians, Proverbs, if they're able to take this assessment and figure it out?
Yeah, I feel like regardless of what your personality style is and what's naturally compatible with you, as long as you take the assessment and you really internalize it, and you use what's in it, you can successfully navigate with any style. Because it doesn't just tell you what type of style you are and the best style for you to be with. It also tells you what is the best way for you to communicate with every and any style, and vice versa. So yeah, as long as you go by the regimen that it gives you, you'll be all right. I had a couple that took it. And they were so amazed with everything going on. I actually have one of his reviews videos. I just haven't put it out yet. But he ended his review video with, "If I don't get married after this, I don't know what's wrong."
Okay. I absolutely love it. I love it. So let's see here. Where else do I want to go with this? So what role does emotional intelligence play in relationship harmony?
First and foremost, the role that it plays is keeping you logical. I know that it is emotional intelligence, but when you are being emotionally intelligent, that means that you also know when to cater to somebody else's emotions, when to not let your emotions overtake the conversation. Because if you have emotional intelligence, you're actually doing some thinking. You're just doing a different type of thinking versus the person that's looking at logic. When you're have emotional intelligence, you're supposed to be looking at the whole picture. And within having your emotions, you find some logic in it. But like I say, the most thing having emotional intelligence should do for you, you should know how to tread in every situation.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. All right. So let's see here. So we have a comment. "Thank you for joining me, Malik. I really appreciate you." He says, "I can get along with any woman as long as she's reasonable."
See, but the question is, what is reasonable? And, I don't mean that in the textbook definition, because, we can look in a dictionary and the lexicon is going to tell us what reasonable means. But within the woman that you choose to talk to or the man you choose to talk to, what is actually reasonable? For some people, Hey, somebody might have been in the army, so they get up every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, and you don't think that it's reasonable for your mate to get up at 8.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So what is really reasonable? Is it reasonable just based upon your definition and your preferences, or is it based upon the culmination of what y'all can do together in a relationship?
Good question. Good question. And good response. Absolutely. All right. So let's see here. Let me ask you this. So I think you kind of answered it. Are there personality combinations that naturally thrive together, just naturally?
Yes, there are. So within the personalities, one of the personalities is, like I say, is like the person that they're leading everything.
Mm-hmm.
They're the out front leader.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have another personality type. That personality is like the person that helps make things comfortable. They make it enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have another personality type. They're kind of like the background player. They're a supportive person to the relationship. But then you have another relationship type where, in their personality, they're also kind of like a dominant person, because they would be like the agent to a speaker or the agent to a rapper. Yes, the rapper's going out there leading the show, but the agent is making sure that the shows are booked. They're making sure studio time is booked. They're making sure that hotels are done. So even in all those different styles, everybody encompasses being a leader and being a supporter. You just have to find out which portion of it is it for you to lead and which portion is for you to support.
That makes sense. So Malik comes back with a person that you can talk to and make everything okay.
But even in between there, the things that go wrong, what are the issues that make it go there? Like I say, it can be reasonable to somebody that they wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And, hey, you do want your mate to be hand in hand with you, but your mate wakes up at 8. And yeah, y'all might be able to talk through. The difference of what's going on, but did you talk to a solution that came from that difference? Because somebody that's easy to talk, we can wake up and just be like, hey, you know what? We had a problem yesterday. Let's move past forward. And somebody like, yeah, let's move past forward. Let's see how the day goes. That's somebody that's easy to talk to. But as you say, we did not get to the root.
The root. Absolutely. And that happens when, you just kind of, you just brush over it, or you brush it under the rug. I mean, I can speak from my experience. And then you got this big old,
right
in this rug with all this mess up under it, and you never get to the root. Like, so that can also cause its problems in a relationship as well.
Right. All right. So like a lot of things that people aren't looking into when it does come to relationships, we aren't really looking at backgrounds. I know that the assessment gives you a personality type of background, but we are looking at backgrounds. I remember I was in a relationship, and the stuff it is that I did as a child, as we would get to know each other and stuff like that, but I know this person from being grown. And, as we would share our experiences from our past and stuff like that, I found out that a lot of stuff that I did wasn't normal in their lifetime, in their childhood. It wasn't normal. So there was already a disconnect that I did not know about. I knew of her as an adult. Like I say, the places that are where we saw we were compatible. But it also did bring a division when I come from a chivalrous background. My mom, my dad, they raised me to open doors, carry bags. You're supposed to be a chivalrous man. And it's a very big difference when you get with somebody, even just a woman that doesn't come from that background. They can see it as you're trying to control them. Now, I'm not trying to control you. This is me making sure you're within your safety, because you are with me. But you do have a lot of people that see that as being controlling. You have a lot of men that look at another man carrying out his woman's bags and opening her doors, and they're like, oh, he's simping. Nah, he being a man. Absolutely.
But hey, listen, that stuff. And then just even that calling a man that's doing that as a simp, which a man that does that for me could never. You hear me? It's like, what's the root as to why they feel that way? Is it because they never saw their mother love properly?
Right.
Is it because, she never saw her father love properly? There's always a root to that. And it's just, again, that understanding piece just will help you to be able to move and
Right.
communicate and a lot differently.
You got somebody out there, they like, why he always want to carry my purse from me? He trying to steal my money. And that's not, what I'm saying? But you got somebody that's like that because first and foremost, they never seen a man be this way with the women in their family. And then, hey, the men that the women in their family with, they used to beat on them or steal from them and stuff like that. So, yeah, you think that this man want to carry your purse for you when you're going in because he's trying to steal your money. And then the men that see the man carrying the woman's purse, they looking at him sideways because they like, man, why I wouldn't be carrying my woman's purse. I wouldn't be. Hey, man, I'm not here to just be submitted to. I'm here to assist and aid in every possible way that I can.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Whether her bag is too heavy or even she just, hey, can you hold my bag for me? Yeah, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. So, how can someone use your insights if they are currently single?
If they're currently single, they can use them by like knowing themselves first, how they communicate, how to communicate with the other styles, how to try and recognize the other styles as they are learning people or getting to date and talk to people. They can first and foremost know what their tools are, how to use them, how to recognize others, and how to kind of help use their tools or help them recognize what their tools are in communication. Then they can also use it as far as not putting people to the test, because I don't like that. Like nobody should be put to the test. You shouldn't leave the money out to test your person you're talking to. You shouldn't go 5 hours without calling to see if your person is going to text you first. You shouldn't put them to the test. But what you can do with this assessment, hey, you getting ready to date somebody or you trying to figure out who you want to talk to and things of that nature, even if they're not one of your natural compatible signs, you can still offer them to take the test.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see how you line up with each other. Even if it's worth the time of you wanting to try and figure out how to communicate with this style.
And that makes sense because that probably sounds a little bit better than, look, we need to go to some therapy.
Right. It also sounds better than just the traditional dating by itself. It goes hand in hand with it. Because knowing somebody's communication style, hey, these are great first dates to have. Great first dates that you don't have to go anywhere if you don't want to be within the same space because you're not ready to per se have somebody in your house or you be in their house or you're not ready to go to certain type of places or things of that nature. So whether you want to be together physically or not together physically, this is something that's great for you to do for a first couple of dates. So, hey, let's take this assessment together. Let's get a breakdown on this assessment and find out what we are. Let's figure out how we can use it. And let's put this into practice just in our regular conversations. And instead of just let's go on a date and me talk to you and try and figure out what you like. What's your favorite color?
Your favorite color. Look, I need to know, are you avoidant? Bro.
No, people are trying to figure out the safe questions to ask and getting to know someone. Because first off, a lot of people don't want to ask the wrong questions.
Or the hard ones.
Or the hard ones.
Right.
Yeah, so hey, what's your favorite drink? Oh, what type of food you like? Oh, that's where we about to go because that's your favorite type of food. When in our actuality, that person that you're talking to and for y'all to have the best compatibility, you might need to take them somewhere surprising where they probably wouldn't eat sushi. But you know what? Let's see how well we can deal together with you getting out of your comfort zone. Because, hey, as a man, I'm here to help you lead your life. So let's purposely go somewhere where it's a little bit out of your comfort zone. And let's see how well we mesh together. Let's see how well I can control the situation. Let's see how well we can get it going together. So that's something that I feel is very good for a single person.
That makes sense. And so now I was so guilty of this, right? What do you think about those lists and checking off the boxes as a single person?
Worst thing you could do. Because just say you got a list, just pick a number. How many things you want on your list? Just pick a number.
I move differently now, but
just pick a number for stuff on the list. Just give me a number.
Five.
That person has 5 million other great qualities that you're overlooking because you're just looking at these 5 things.
Exactly. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
They have 5 million other great qualities that are actually pertinent to having a successful relationship and somebody treating you right. You know, some people's list might have stuff like, is you going to buy me flowers every Friday? Oh, he ain't buying me flowers every Friday. I'm all right.
I'm done. Oh, he ain't get them flowers.
Yeah, he ain't get them flowers. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? She didn't wear the lingerie. Yeah, that like those lists are superficial. Because for people to talk to someone based on a list that they made, you haven't really made a list based on what you know about a person. And even if you do make it based off past experiences, those are other people. So you're really making it off of something that is false. Because hey, I just hope she has long hair. I hope she wears a red shirt. I hope her name is Lisa. I hope she has a microphone. I hope she has a pink picture in the back that has a heart on it. Oh, let me check all these boxes. And Lisa, the worst Lisa ever.
Lisa, hey, look. The person ain't done no self-work. No, none of that. No, because it's almost like when you get to know yourself, right? It's like, to me, that's a better guidance than a list, because a list could just be a culmination of like your past experiences and stuff like that. And who knows, you could be just living in a whole routine, right? Which keeps you stagnant and all of that. But yeah, so anyway, I just was curious what you thought about that, because
if we're going to put things on a list, the only thing that should be on the list is like stuff like, you're not going to kill me. You're not going to steal from me. Because even in that list of
deal breakers.
Yes, I was looking for the word. Thank you. Even in that list of deal breakers, there's a lot of things that people have that are deal breakers because of the experience they had with somebody else. And it's not the same with this person. So your list of deal breakers even should be, these are my things that are hard for me to compromise. But as life go on, you might find out with this person, I don't really go to the club. That's a deal breaker for me. Somebody that always want to be in the club. But as I get to know you and your personality, we're going to find some compromise. And hey, I might love being in the club with you every Friday night. It might be Friday at 7:00 when nobody's really at this club. But now, you know what I'm saying? I look forward to it because this is one of your love languages. You want to go out. You want to be cute. You want to be pretty. You want to have some fun that's not at home. And it doesn't mean that you're neglecting any and everything else. You want to be out. And a lot of people, they like to be out and have those type of dates because they're proud of who they're with. But if my deal breaker is just, I don't want to go to the club, I can't even let you express how proud you are to be with me.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. All right, so let's see here. So we got some comments. So Malik says, you give good advice, Clarence. Okay.
Thank you, Malik.
Okay, all right. So let's see here. Yeah, lists don't work, especially as you get older.
Not at all. Not at all.
Hey, Corey. Come on, hit 22.
This dude, man. That's my guy. Shout out Combo with Sino.
Yes, Combo with Sino. You got to check that podcast out. Hey, tag your podcast in the chat, Sino. All right, so let's see. Facts. Lists are not a good thing, especially as you grow older. Respect is often misused nowadays with all this selfishness in the air.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes, because it's not respect. And he used the proper word, misused. First and foremost, I'm going to deal with that word right there. Lisa, if I'm your boyfriend, you're supposed to use me. You're supposed to use me for emotional intelligence. You're supposed to use me for smiles. You're supposed to use me for conversation. Things are made to be used, but you're not supposed to misuse me. And with that respect that he's talking about, it is being misused because in that selfishness, people are looking for a respect that actually isn't due to them.
Okay.
I know everybody has seen videos or posts of whether it's a man or woman. Look at you and look at me. Should you be talking to me? How dare you see that where you feel like you're a certain caliber person and somebody's trying to talk? That's disrespect, and you feel like they're disrespecting you because they're trying to talk to you. That's disrespect.
That makes sense. That makes sense. You know, it is just so much out here. It is just so much to I guess you could say to sweep through, to it's just so much, like just with dating and all of that, you know. Let me see here. Where else do I want to go with this? Because okay, Earl, okay, so do you remember the conversation that we had pre-show about okay, so my personality type, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, don't put too much. Like I said, we drinking it. Don't tell my secrets. All
I
right.
got you.
So with my personality type, what would your advice be to me?
What would my advice be to you? My advice to you would be to slow down, take a deep breath, and take in the atmosphere and flow with it. That would be my advice to you.
Okay. All right. I like that. I like that.
Without saying too much, that's my advice to you.
Okay, so let me ask you this though. So as far as my compatibility, what would you say?
With you being compatible with anyone, I would have to tell you for you, giving less is more. I don't mean don't do all of the things that are required. I mean, don't overgive. Because with you being with anyone, you overgiving, you're enabling them to not give properly to you. And even if you still do have the relationship that you have and it has some longevity to it, you're making a lopsided thing going on. And they're not actually able to fully develop into the person that they're supposed to be for you. Yeah.
Oh, my students was doing this in class. I said, okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't want to, because I'm telling you, when it's asked, so what you looking for? Tell me about you or whatever. What you looking for to man? I'll be like somebody with a trained eye.
Right. Right.
To see me, because I ain't gonna give you too much. Because see, if I give you too much, and then all of a sudden you're gonna be the dream man.
See, but that's what I'm saying in my advice to you. Because once you're in it, you have no limits. Like you are one of those people you're here for success. Even somebody just watching you right now, they see how you put yourself together with your podcast. You make sure all your boxes are checked, not the list. You're going down to check the things that you can do proper. And you'll always add things to make sure that you're doing more than you can do. You are a flow of what's going on. You want to make sure you have a proper presentation. You are focused on success. You're not focused on ego. You're not focused on being better than anybody else. People should be able to see that you are just focused on the success of what you set yourself to. So that's why I say sometimes for you to give less is you actually giving more because you're letting a real success happen, not something that is fabricated.
Oh, okay. So let me ask this because I'm gonna give my testimonial here in a minute. I'm gonna give you that because when I took this assessment, right? Because I was like, let me see what Clarence is talking about.
Let me see what he's talking about.
He's talking about because I did the Myers-Briggs. Okay, I did the attachment style, the love language. Let me see what you're talking about. So tell me this. How would someone like my listeners or whatever, like how would they like get in contact with you to actually take the assessment? Like so what's the steps? Like what's the whole steps? You ready?
They can reach me directly on Facebook, Clarence Underwood. Just reach me at my name. I use my whole name. Or if they would like to take the assessment, actually right now I am giving out 50 free assessments. And within those 50 free assessments, the only requirement is that you also do a video review, but the best video review will win $100. You can find that video assessment at www.sexualintercourse.store.
Okay. And I'll put that in the chat.
Yes, once they get to the site, they subscribe. I have the package itself for free right now. They get the package. It'll send them an email. Then from the email, they'll take the test. I'll get their results. And just like with you, I'll end up giving them a call to go over their results to see how accurate they are for them. And we'll have a short conversation about it. But that's the process. But after that, there is another level that's called a deep dive for this. That if they would like to further know exactly how to use the tools and how to sharpen the tools and just get curated within their communication, then they can purchase a package for it.
Okay. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. Let me get my testimony. Now, y'all, let me tell y'all, because like I wasn't going to have Clarence come on this show without me taking this assessment. Okay. So I totally took this assessment. I took my time with it. And Clarence, you probably know how I went through the questions because you know my. What you think I did, Clarence? Just real quick. What you think I did?
This fit me, that fit me too. Dang, I can see myself being all of these. I really want to pick all of them, but I need to pick one. What if I pick two? Is she gonna say something if I pick two? Well, you know what? Forget that, because the test say just one, so I'm gonna do what it say. But then you got to that one question. You was like, I'm picking both of them.
Facts, right? But you know, I followed the instructions. And I will say this, because I do a lot of self-work. I've talked about it on the podcast and just even with my, my divine connections and stuff. I am one that believes in doing the work, right? So I'm exploring my shadow. I'm looking at patterns. I'm looking at different things about self. I'm exploring traumas, all that stuff, right? This assessment really brought light. Just to me, it added to my library of self, right? So I just want to say thank you, brother, for this test, because sometimes you get into patterns, you get into life, and you may miss some things, or you may not have thought about that, or it may have gotten buried somewhere. But this assessment has really brought things to light, reminders, and just different things like that. So it is definitely my recommendation. Take this assessment. It's going to add to your understanding of self. It's going to help you to move differently and ultimately get to your better self. I mean, of course, there's other things required for you to do the work, right? I just really feel like this is a powerful tool in getting to that best self, whether it's being best self with self in a relationship and even family ships, because that's something that we don't talk about as well. Like this could be used for families, right? Am I tripping?
Yes. So the assessment, how I got into knowing of the DISC assessment, things of that nature. Dr. Martinson started this assessment in 1928. Mm-hmm. And in me going through my training, I actually took an assessment. I've been dealing with the assessments for this is 2025, about 4 years now. Mm-hmm. And I actually took an assessment. And in the assessment that I took, it was just for overall fitting into more so groups, workplace groups and workplaces, and fitting into teams. It was more about group things. So as I started going through these things, I also learned, my mentor taught me that every place there is a problem, there is a solution. But he also taught me that wherever there's a problem, there's a business. Mm-hmm. So it made me start thinking, and hey, I haven't come across any DISC assessments in the style that is directly for you and communicating in your relationship. Oh, they're out there for many different ways. How can you be a better athlete? How can you this? But I haven't come across one for, like I say, for your relationship. Mm-hmm. And even in the other tests, it is that you say you've taken. No, I haven't peeked at their test, never seen their test. I've never opened a relationship test. So no, I don't have bits and pieces of their tests in there. Don't know how long they are, anything of that nature. But I just know usually how things are set up. I probably have the quickest and the shortest test is 8 questions, and I can have your answers in 5 minutes or less. If you're available in our times line, within 10 minutes of you taking this assessment, we can get through it real quick. It's not a long, drawn-out process. You don't have to think hard. It's not 100 questions. It's just 8.
Absolutely, because that's another thing. Again, this journey to better self. I've taken so many different assessments, and I'm like, how many 11 questions, bruh? But your assessment is short, and for as accurate as it is, because I remember when we were talking, I'm giggling like, really?
Right. Yes, because even when we took the assessment, there was one thing that I said that's in your answers, and you were like, "No, that's not me." So I got to break down, and you were like, "Oh,
I see."
I didn't even see where I was being this thing right here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it only took 30 seconds to get through that real quick, which actually can give you a lifetime of help.
Facts. Because again, I'm all about growth. Look, I'm pure, not perfect. I'm all about growth and just really not trying. I don't like that word either. Mm-hmm. And improvement, right? and alignment and all that stuff. Like, so that's a part of it. So we have some comments in here, y'all. I promise I wasn't trying to ignore y'all. Okay, so let's see. So Ramon says nice and fresh, low 60s with a small.
He's talking about the weather.
I shouldn't have bought this on because I'm hating. I'm a hater right now.
I told you.
60s. Right. All right, so let's see here. Okay, so yeah, Terry said lists don't work, especially as you get older. Okay, so you got to learn your goals as a couple before your own needs as well. There's people that don't commit. That makes it hard for everyone to work. Ooh. What you got to say about that, Clarence?
Right on, Primo. Hey, because right, so one of the major things that we do have going on today in what you're looking at in relationships, a lot of people are now going back and forth between the monogamy and polygamy and things of that nature, which brings us to an even more specific issue versus how plural or unplural your relationship is. What is for your relationship is for your relationship. I can't base what is going to be in my relationship off the standards of my mother, my brother, my father, my sister, or the people that I see on TV and their relationship is this or that. Because you're not understanding your relationship goals. You're understanding your goals that you see culture has dictated. But hey, if just say for instance, in our relationship, culture might dictate as a man, hey, don't let your woman be outside after dark. I'm one of them men. If you're going outside after dark, I should be with you, or you don't need to be alone. You should go with somebody else. But what if somehow within what's going on, I can't control when you got to get up and get out the bed and go to work because maybe you're on call. I do on-call work. So whereas in just the basis of society's relationship, it's a man that's not going to talk to you, or he's going to talk to you and think that he can change you going outside at night. But that's not what works for your relationship.
That makes sense. Okay, we got a couple more comments. We getting a little low on time. I've always wondered if both male and female would approach one another if each had the same, no more or no less than the other. How would the come on or approach each other?
Hey, because we talked about that pre-broadcast, where as far as people are not in a place of approaching like with something that's real to what they're trying to build. So they're not approaching with. That's why it's kind of hard, I feel, for a woman to approach a man, or even for men to approach women. Because just be honest, if we took a poll, what percentage of women do you think are going to talk to the man that walks up to them and be like, yeah, how you like to communicate? It's going to be foreign.
Like what?
Like what? Like, right. It's going to be foreign to them. Hey, I'm a very this type of person, and what I'm saying, I'm just trying to see, do you like to resolve problems fast or slow, or how do you like to go about that? That nobody's expecting that, for one, and for two, in this society we live in right now, they're gonna look at you weird. Why are you trying? You don't know me like that? Why are you trying to know me like that? You need to know what I like to eat. But the point is
same stuff.
The point is to get to know you, right? So if we had something other than that, we would be like, you know what? You look good to me, but nah, it's not worth my hassle or your hassle.
You hear me? Like, as you're talking and as we were doing this interview, even our previous conversation, I'm looking like, man, if I had this assessment, right? Look, if somebody did be like, hey, how you communicate, baby? Hey, well, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
And I would be like, hey, do you withdraw when it gets hard? You feel me? Like, listen, that could save a whole lot of stuff.
Right.
Or even just give more understanding, right? And maybe the carnal damage wouldn't be as bad.
Right. Even back when it does come to how I was speaking on dates, how great of a first date would it be for you to sit down and have this nice environment, and you're not talking about the trip they took last year, they want to go to Cabo, you want to own 5 cars, and you actually able to sit down and see how is it that we work, what's going on, like, yeah, okay, well, my communication style is this. Even if it is, okay, the first time we're going to sit down together, we're going to go over these results together. And you actually get to see the sparkle of a person and not a sparkle in the eye.
Facts. Facts. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. And to me, I feel like this could grow even more of a friendship, right? Because with friendships, there is usually a very deep understanding, right? Whether it's through time or just whatever, maybe this could definitely be the key to, that friendship, that understanding, that missing element, because it's not the chemistry is what it is. Chemistry off the bat, like, oh man, you fine,
right.
We both like chicken, you know what I mean? Okay, that's cute.
Right, that's cute.
But when life be lifing, right? How you gonna move with me?
How you gonna move with me? Just even you said based off friendship, I'm quite sure everybody in their lifetime has had a friend that they dealt with their emotions by being promiscuous. And in the outside world, they're like, oh, your friend just to this, your friend just to that. And yeah, your friend taking these actions and stuff like that. And yeah, you prefer for your friend to take different actions, but because this is your friend and y'all have some different type of communication, when they get in their mode, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you like, girl, you done been out with 5 men in 4 days. What's going on in your life?
It's more of an understanding.
It's more of an understanding. So even as we speak on shutting down or dominating the conversation or talking just logically and not giving any emotion, because see, this is the thing that this assessment is going to help you understand. Because some people, they don't have emotional conversations. They don't put it in there. Some people, they don't have the emotions for the conversations at all. And they don't know that they're not giving the emotions because they're a logical person. So they're showing you their emotion because they care to solve a problem. Some people don't have the logic to give. All they have really to give you to show that they care, because they really do care. And it comes off as nonchalant, as I hear you and I understand. I really want you to know that I am listening and I do love you. That's when I love you turns into, stop telling me that. Every time I got a problem, the best thing you can do is, do you want a hug? I love you. See, this is going to help you be able to see all these things so you can know if you're not giving the emotions, if you're just giving logic, when you need to be able to accept a hug for a communication, because sometimes that really is the best communication. I can't do nothing but give you a hug. The best thing, we got a problem right now. I don't know what the resolve is. I don't want to make the problem worse. Only thing I know is to show you I love you the best way that I can.
And again, if you have that understanding, those certain actions are not as offensive, right? And if you can just take that offensiveness, you can bring it down, right? I think that would curb some of the divisiveness that we see in relationships, because I think there's a lot of people that go into it, and I know we got to wrap up. I think a lot of people go into it with walls up. There's self-sabotage. There's all these different things that come into play, Right. But if you just really get to the root, how different could relationships be? Not that everything has to be a happily ever after, because everything is not happily ever after. It's just not. I'm just saying, for that time, for me, it's quality over quantity, right?
Right.
Even if it's that quality where it contributes to growth, betterment, or whatever, because so many relationships result in the opposite.
Right. Like I said, I know we have to wrap up. I will say this right here. So from another one of the couples, they said that they realized where he was trying to say something and she was trying to say something. They was really saying the same thing. And this was just from them taking the assessment. They hadn't even applied it yet. Ooh. They just were able to see, well, dang, and we was really saying the same thing. And you know what I'm saying? It helped them in their space. The next thing it is that I'm going to say, like you say, walls. That's something that's walls is a list. That's what the list is. List is having walls up. But Lisa, how do you want me to build a house with you and you already have walls up? How we gonna build a house and you got walls? You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be building some walls together. How I'm not here to break down. This is not the battle of Jericho. I'm not here to, make it come tumbling down. I'm supposed to build it up. Why you want somebody to come tear something down in your life to get through to you versus we can build something up together? And the last thing I will say, because I know we are getting off of here, like I say, they can find the assessment at www.sexualintercourse.store. It is free to the first 50 that take it, with a chance to win $100. After that, it will be $5. So hopefully you get in before The first 50 is $5. I also do life coaching and things of that nature. If anybody would like to have a type of conversation with me, or if you would like me to mentor you or help you in any type of way, like I said, I do suicide awareness, I do mental health first aid. We also have a group down here in Indianapolis. It's called King Vibes Nation. We're the brotherhood to Queen Vibe Nation. In Indy, I am the vice president. We are about community outreach. If you are about anything that is healthy, upbuilding, and trying to improve yourself, you can find me on Facebook at Clarence Underwood.
Absolutely. And I'm going to put all this in the chat, Clarence. You're going to send me your information. I'm going to put it all in the chat. Right. All right. So I'm going to take you off of here. Thank you so much. We'll definitely have to collaborate. We will have to do this again. This was excellent information.
Oh, we have a great future in store. They'll see it.
Oh, absolutely. Look, y'all heard it here first.
I heard it first.
All right, Clarence. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
All right, boom. So y'all heard it here, right? So hopefully, look, I'm going to put that information in the chat, okay? And so that you can take that assessment. And, I'm really not saying it just because Clarence was my guest. Literally, when I took that assessment, I'm like, wow, I was really blown away because, I did see the length of questions and I'm like, how many questions? Because, when you take an assessment, it's at least 50, 11 questions. Am I lying? It's at least 50, 11 questions. You hear me? So, his assessment isn't very long. It's streamlined. And when I tell you that it hit it on the nose, and I'm sure what he was saying about me, even my divine connections would even tell you like, yeah, he on point. He on point. And I don't even know Clarence like that, right? He was just a network and, we started talking. I'm telling you that assessment really put it out there. All right. Yes, it is dinner time. I knew somebody was going to say that. Y'all already know. Like, listen, I got some good dinner lined up tonight, but I don't want to leave without actually my affirmation, right? So this is my affirmation for tonight. Okay, so divine love leads me to perfect harmony, perfect passion, and perfect understanding. What is meant for my joy arrives with ease. I am aligned, desired, supported, and free. Every relationship I enter reflects the truth of who I am, whole, worthy, and wonderfully made. Okay, how y'all feel? Like I said, my students was doing one of these things. I don't know if it was the ring finger, the first finger, or whatever. After a while, I was just like, Anyway, so I just want to give a shout out to everybody that listened tonight. Shout out to my mama. Mama, what you think? I told you about that assessment, mama. What you think? Thanks so much for watching. Shout out to Lyric, the Grishams, Aunt Anna, the viewers, Mark Lee. I see you in the studio, Mark Lee. Clarence, thank you so much for everything. The Grishams, y'all know I love y'all and I appreciate y'all, right? So if today's episode resonated with you, please share it with someone that needs to hear it, right? Let's continue to understand, grow, and just be better selves, better in relationships, whether it's romantic, whether it's family. I know we talked a lot about the romantic aspect, but even with family, with these holidays, we already know how the holidays are, right? So if there's a better understanding of self, how differently will you move with your family, right? Because family is important too. And move with yourself. Because how many of y'all are not being right with self right now? Can we be honest? But anyway, so let me go ahead and put this out here because I got to get out of here, y'all. I am too hungry, like for real. I'm so hungry. All right. So, of course, you know that you can subscribe across all platforms. Let me go on ahead and get these ready. Y'all already know. YouTube is Relationship Soup, period. You got to put the period, you're going to be somewhere else, right? The website, relationshipsoup.com. The forum, Relationship Soup Group. Come and join the forum, right? If you want to follow me, it's Relationship Soup LLC. And then on TikTok, we on TikTok, y'all. It's Relationship Soup. So I would love to see y'all, following, liking, and all that stuff. Let's just go ahead and get it up, right? And I got some news coming soon. I cannot wait to share with y'all. But, of course, I got to get out of here because this dinner is calling me. Okay, it is calling me. So as always, it starts with you. Love yourself. And until we meet next time, peace.